Hope Channel, changing lives.
Another wonderful evening on Family Life on Hope TV. I welcome you all, my dear viewers. Today we are going to have a wonderful discussion, as we always say. And we thank God so much for giving us this beautiful, wonderful day. The day was so wonderful, so calm. Even though it was sunny, everything moved on well. And I know it happened at your end. So we thank God for what He has done for us. Today we are going to zoom into a series that we have termed it as Women Grooming. We are going to see how best women will groom ourselves. Why? The reason is that this month of March has been dedicated to women. And so we want to see how best we can help our women to groom themselves to face the future challenges that are coming. And even currently, what we are going through as women. And so today we are going to discuss the image of a woman. The image of a woman cut across everywhere. We are going to look at how we should behave in our marketplaces, if we are market women, if we are students, if you are a corporate woman, how you should behave. What are some of the do's and the don'ts, and how you should carry out yourself. And so with me is a special woman. I call her special because she has been a friend to me for so long a time. We've been working on projects together. Today she's here to be with us. Her name is Faith Senyo. And Faith Senyo holds an NGO that is called the Rebranded Woman. And so she's going to help us rebrand ourselves. Faith, how are you?
Fine, thank you.
Good. And I have my sister also on Zoom. She's a sister, she's a friend, she's everything, because she's not new to Family Life. Those who have been watching us every day, she's always on Family Life. And so I basically call her a sister. That is Mrs. Constance Boache Ejapon. She is a corporate woman working with the bank. She's a human resource person. And so she's going to help us to understand how the corporate world is. My dear Faith, even though she is an NGO person, she is also a teacher. So she knows what also goes on in the schools. And so she will also pick from that end. And so my dear lovely women, you are welcome.
Thank you, Auntie Betty.
Constance, you are welcome.
Thank you, Auntie Betty.
How are you?
I'm very well. Today you caught me in a bad habit. I'm still in the office.
Yes, so I had wanted to say naughty, naughty.
Sorry. Mr. Japan agrees. He's not in town, so he agrees.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. So as women, let's have some small women to chat and then we go. Faith,
yes, Auntie Betty.
How has women been? And let's talk about you. You see, rebranded woman. Women are already branded. You want to rebrand us. Yeah? So how is the rebranding going?
Oh, everything is fine, Auntie Betty. I think you said women are already branded. But I think some women need rebranding. Okay. Everybody has a brand. But at a point in time, if you don't catch the needed attention or you realize that things are not working the way you expect it to be, then you have to look at where something is getting wrong and then you rebrand. So that is what rebranding is about.
Okay, and so how are you going to brand us today? Rebrand us today.
So we are going to look at the topic to be discussed, like women. There are lots of ways that we have to seek rebranding. You know, I always tell the women who are part of my NGO that you can rebrand emotionally, physically, spiritually, and economically. Okay. Okay. So those are the areas we are going to look at today.
Very good. So the image of a woman. Yeah. Constance, I'm on you. The image of a woman in the corporate world. How should we see it?
So the image of women in the corporate world cuts across everywhere, right from the entrance to the boardroom.
Okay.
So wherever you find yourself in the corporate structure, as a woman, your feminism, your appearance, and all of that actually speaks for who you are. Good. And that is why it matters so much. And I'm so excited that you've taken time in your series to talk about the image of women. It is very important in corporate.
Very good. And so we are coming to, you want to move to the corporate world first. As a corporate woman, your dressing, how should your dressing be? Your color code, your combination, some of the things you need to put on. Let's see how a woman should dress as a corporate woman. And I think the bankers have it all. And so you let us have a feel of that.
Okay. So talking about it from the corporate perspective, we have usually a lot of corporate organizations have a set of guidelines, which we usually call the dress code. So especially in our society in Ghana here, a lot of corporate organizations have dress codes for their employees. And the employees are expected to appear in a professional manner that actually depicts the industry in which they work. So let's say for the people who are in sectors like the banking and finance, when you meet a banker, somebody will say, oh, you look like a banker. How do bankers look like? So if you want to work in a bank, then you need to conform to the way that society expects a bankers to appear, and also be guided by the set guidelines that your institution uses. For instance, there are some banks that have prescribed colors that their employees should wear. I previously worked for a bank that I will not mention name. I know you know. That actually we had sets of colors that we were supposed to wear. There were times that we were wearing certain colors for certain dates. You were expected to wear the shades from gray, black, a navy, a midnight blue shade. You are expected for, as a woman, when you are wearing an inner, the inner should be above the cleavage level, and it should be a plain color that should match the suit that you are wearing. So all these details does matter. And if you find yourself in the manufacturing industry, they also have their dress codes that also specifically looks at the safety measures that needs to be taken into consideration when appearing on job sites. So the way you could dress with some high heels to the banking industry could be different from how you could be expected if you are working in the field of, say, a manufacturing company. So the corporate doesn't just look at the people who work in the highly chilled, air-conditioned offices. However, it looks at all various corporate institutions. So you need to dress according to the organization or the industry in which you operate. If you operate in the sporting industry, there is a way that you are expected. If you appear in like a Lacoste in my environment, say on a Monday or Tuesday, somebody could ask you, oh, are you on leave?
Oh, are you fine?
Yes. If I have a colleague in the office wearing Lacoste on Monday or Tuesday, the first thing that comes into my mind is that maybe this person is on leave and it just passed into the office to do something, because we have a set of guidelines that guides how we should appear, especially also for the benefit of customers. Okay? Because if your customers have a certain expectation of you, then you should not confuse the customers. When the customer gets into your organization and all of you are wearing a T-shirt celebrating, let's say, Customer Service Week, they understand. If they come into the organization a week and they realize that you are all in various African prints, and it is around AU Day or Independence Day, it is understood that, oh, this corporate organization is looking at dressing traditionally in line with maybe some celebration in the country or in the community. But if they come on any day and I am in some gede and another person is in some different clothing, then it becomes confusing to the customers. And it's very important that we keep our stakeholders like that in mind when we are looking into our wardrobe to put on something for the workplace.
Okay, so thank you so much for giving us a brief description about how women should carry themselves, especially the dress in the corporate world. Now I have my sister on studio, Faith. Let's see, you are a teacher, okay? Your experience with the children and then the girls in general. How do you see the image of girls in the school, and what will you prescribe for them?
I think there is a trend that is becoming rather disheartening in our schools. There are a lot of times you see girls going to fold the dresses that the school had provided for them to make it look shorter. And that is something I think every teacher out there that is watching us should be keen about. Because the girls have they feel girls look nicer in shorter things, of which is not true. You can still wear something very long and look beautiful. So I think social media and the trend is making girls feel like you need to. There is this mindset that you look hotter.
Very. You have to be hot.
Yes, and in as much as you think people are admiring those trends, I am sorry to tell. I always tell them that it's not everybody that likes what you are wearing.
Good.
You would think it's a trend, but there are some people that frowns at what you are wearing. And as a people, you always have to catch a certain attention, and it shouldn't be the negative one. So a lot of times I talk to my girls, when I see you folding it, I make sure you untie unfold it right there. And if it is something that is too short, then we ask you to go home and then do till you get the right uniform. So it is a trend. Some are doing well, but the trend in the schools now, right from the junior high school, the senior high schools, and the universities especially, you realize that they feel you have to use all the accessories for people to admire you. No, you can still look simple, you can still be simple and then be admired. So I think it's a very good platform to let our girls that are coming realize that you don't have to follow the trend. Just be you. Just be you. And then you'll be unique, and then people will love you for who you are.
Okay, so how does the image of the girl in the society, for instance, a situation where he has a whole lot of men, because of late we are experiencing a lot of rapes. So how does the image, how the woman carry herself can lead her into such situations? The girls, their dressing, how? Because we've spoken about the short dress. Apart from the short dress, how does their image affect them in the future, currently, and then beyond?
Yes, you see, there are lots of times we think we are just being us and we are enjoying the moments, but we forget that there is a future ahead. So maybe in the university, you are with your colleagues and you feel you can dress anyway because that is what you feel.
You're right.
You're right. But the issue is that some of your colleagues are going to grow and some are going to become CEOs. And if you are unfortunate and you don't become a CEO yourself, then you would have to go to one of those corporate institutions and meet your mate there. What image have you portrayed in the past? You know, I always say that there is something that is ahead. And so you don't leave the moment and think you are okay. You have to think about the future ahead. You can, you know, some of our schoolmates, when you mention them, people begin to have certain perceptions. So ask yourself, the image I'm portraying now, how I'm carrying myself now in the present, is it going to help me to fit in like wherever I find myself? If I'm mentioned, if faith is mentioned, and people look me, it's not everybody that understands that people do change.
Yes.
And so whatever you imprint into the mind of people is going to last forever.
They say, and
so whatever you do today, you have to know that you will pay for it in the future. So the image should be one that will already mention you. Oh, this lady way back portrayed herself in a certain way, the way you talk, not only the dress, and the way you used to be at school, the way you talk, your seriousness, the way you carry yourself. If it is good, you can just enter anywhere and you get what you want. But if it is bad, you see that, oh, you are my okay, or we'll meet later. Then you wouldn't know that image you portrayed some years back is what is affecting you now. So it's very important that we carry a very positive image while in school.
Before we go, I want you to give this advice. Dress to catch. Okay, so when you come to our universities, you have a lot of women dressing in a way that at least they'll be attracted to their mate. What will you say?
You know, it's your attraction is not only based on your dressing.
Okay.
And so you shouldn't kill yourself to catch attention. There is somebody that might not, there are some programs that you might not even see the person that is behind you, but just a person talk. When you turn, you see that, this person has been well groomed.
Okay.
So there are a lot of areas. For me, I tell my girls that if you want to catch attention, there are a lot of issues that you want to address in the nation. Right now, if you're a young girl and you take it up on yourself that you're going to raise a campaign against a certain trend that is not working well, like a canker that is cropping up, you are going to get attention more than that dressing to catch.
Okay.
The dressing to kill or to... So there are a lot of positive ways that you can catch attention than just your dressing. Think about something positive, something inspiring, because the dressing is not catchy enough. So, you know that nowadays they like brains, women with brains. That is what we don't know. You'll catch all their attention, they mingle with you, some even mar the future ahead, and then when you finish school, they go and marry people that they feel carry a positive self-image.
Good.
So young ladies out there should be very careful the way they are carrying themselves now.
We'll come to the positive self-image.
Right.
Let me go to Constance. Constance, are you there, my dear?
Yes, I am.
Yes, let's come to the corporate world. You have spoken about your dress code and the rest, but let's talk about women perfume and women creams. How should it be like when you are in the corporate world or when you are in public? What type of perfumes and then the creams and other things that should be put on?
Okay, just before I touch on that, I would like to say something to support what Faith was just talking about.
Okay.
And when we look at Proverbs chapter 31, verse 25, it says that she is clothed with strength and dignity.
Good.
And she can laugh at the days to come. And I like the point that Faith just raised. When you are dressing, no matter what stage of life that you are in, know that you have some days ahead to account for the way you are appearing.
Good.
So if you are appearing so loud, know that there is somebody who is taking note of that and maybe giving an opportunity to give reference about you. What they may be able to talk about is your appearance. And so as a woman, you should really care about your appearance. Not just looking sweet and flamboyant and the physical appearance, but also the way you conduct
You don't want to mention the word sexy. Just mention it and let's go.
in your appearance. So let's, as Christians, be guided by what Proverbs 31:25 teaches us.
Okay.
And then in the corporate environment, back to the other points that I had also raised, we can also give some reference to what 1 Timothy chapter 2, verse 9 to 10 teaches us as Christian women. And it says that Paul admonishes us that I want women to dress modestly, with decency, not with expensive clothes and jewelries and all that, but with good deeds, appropriate for women who profess to worship God. So especially as Christian women, we need to pay very much attention to the way we carry ourselves, the image that we show to the world around us, because it is also one factor that we can use to either win souls for Christ or even draw away people from Christ. So back to your current question about perfume. For creams, I cannot discuss about creams that corporate women should use. I think I would leave that to the skin expert and to talk about it, because every woman's skin type determines what kind of cream they use, whether it is oily creams or ones that are good for oily skin or dry skin or whatever skin type that you have. But to talk about the perfume, for the
so let's come to before our sister gets in. Let's come. Okay.
when you hear me? Can you hear me, please?
Yes, we can hear you. Continue.
Okay. So when you are going to meet with people, do not use strong perfumes. Once again, think about the people in your environment. There could be somebody who could have some allergies. And because of that, you wearing a strong perfume could actually trigger somebody's asthma. And so that is something that ideally you wouldn't want your personal hygiene details to trigger. And talking about personal hygiene details, it is not just about the perfume. Also try and keep your personal hygiene in order. The smells that you carry is not just about it being a perfume, but if it also has some offensive odors, as a woman, you should take care of it so that people will not smell you when you are coming in a very negative way.
Okay.
So that is the bit that I can say about the perfume. That keep it mild so that it does not trigger somebody's health condition.
Let me come to Faith. Faith, we have market women, okay? And then the perception that I'm going to market also has effect on how they... So how should market women also carry themselves?
All right.
As you are rebranding us.
You know, no matter where you are going to,
yes,
as a woman, no matter what you do for a living, don't just say that because I'm not going to the office, I'm not going to sit by a computer, so I'm not going to look good. As a market woman, the market is your office. You have to put that in mind. And for me, when I get to the market, I become so skeptical. I watch a lot. And when I have a lot of people selling the same stuff, I'm tempted to look at the personality first before I even go close to look at what you have on board. So don't just say that because I'm going to the market, I'm going to look anyhow. People will come to the market and then they will want to... Now there are a lot of trends and then we are getting more, let me say, more like exposed. Okay. So if you think you can be doing the same old things, and some people go to the market and say the whole of today, nobody had come to buy from me. It might surprise you that it's because of the image you carry to the market. And so there are lots of times you go to the market and you see a market woman eating behind the goods she's selling. Oh, I'm coming. Let me wash my hand. I'll attend to you. No. Everything is about planning. Okay. You have to know the time you eat at the market. I always say that the way you structure your system is how your system responds to you. So it's a surprise that if at 12, your system knows that every 12 o'clock is when I need food in me. 12 o'clock will come and that is just when you have to eat and you become like, that is the time, anytime it's 12, you feel like eating. So you have to plan. Have a plan that when I go to the market, it's at 12 that I'll eat. Not that you see anything passing, you buy, you want to eat, and then when your customers come, you are not composed. The image you are carrying is not all that good. So my dear market, dress to the market, look good. And a lot of times I advise that you have an apron, a very beautiful apron, a well-branded apron. What if it is Okro, get a designer to design your Okro apron for you. You put it on the dress you are wearing, because a lot of times you come home and your kids might be waiting, your family might be waiting, people are out there watching you. You don't have to go to the market and come the same way, like just anyhow. So put on your apron so that the dirt that will fall in the market will fall in your apron. You finish and then you remove it. Especially now that there is COVID and a lot of things that are flying, you have to wear your well-labeled apron. When you finish, you remove it. You see that your clothes are still neat. And then you polish up, you pick your vehicle, and you come home neat to come and meet your family.
Yes. So the image of the woman in the market. Let's come to this. There are times you go to the marketplace and you see the market women fighting, talking. So the image of a woman in the market, apart from the dressing, what can we tell them to?
You know, womanhood is a very unique thing. Yes. That is what we all have to bear in mind. And relationship matters.
Good.
And there is something we call emotional intelligence. And so you can just get to the market. You're not the one that fights, but something can just hit you. You have to be intelligent. You have to be smart. And then standing in the market to argue or fight, you don't know who might be watching you.
Yes.
You never might know. And even if the people that have watched you, you don't know them, you might need them, you might meet them later somewhere. So attitude is everything. You are going to tell yourself, I'm a woman because I am bent on carrying a positive brand or image for myself. No matter what somebody brings to me in that market, I'm not going to respond. And it will surprise you. The last time somebody did something to me, and it hurts me so much, but I said sorry to the person. And the person was so much surprised.
Okay.
I was supposed to get angry, but something just spoke to me. Say sorry to this person. Oh, the reason why you have spoken this way, I'm just sorry. And it ended there. It didn't bring a fight. The relationship is still maintained. You understand?
Very good.
So last Sunday, my pastor was saying something that he has become too wise to break relationships because that person you are fighting, you might need to just get up and do something for yourself. And that person next by you, that person next beside you, you will need the person's help. So relationship is key. The moment you fight, you break relationships, and it's not good for us as women.
Okay. Connie, we have spoken about relationship, the image of a woman in the marketplace, fighting, talking. Let's come to the corporate world. Apart from our dressing and our perfume, what should be the image of a woman in that corporate world?
Okay. So I would liken the details to what Faith was just saying. And we usually say that a woman should be seen and not heard. When you appear, your entrance could be felt, not your voice. And what I mean by that is, let me give an example. Imagine expecting a lady to appear, and then you hear, "Hey, Peku, stand there, wait for me," and it's screaming all over the place. I just, I'm all alone in the office, but I couldn't even bring myself to be screaming that loud. So a woman should always have it consciously that we could be seen, we can appear, but not to be heard from a distance when we are coming.
Okay.
Usually, if we could have, permit me to say, if a lion is coming and you could be hearing the lion coming, human as we are, not even just women, human as we are, we should try and get closer to people, have dialogues, instead of just screaming at people, shouting so loud. And again, also as I would speak to mothers, the way you conduct yourself as a woman is what your children pick, both the boys and the girls. So if you are a mother and you would be screaming all over the place, then you could end up building a very chaotic home and a very chaotic environment for all the people around you. So that is one aspect I'd like to touch on. In the corporate environment also, I'm happy you said you are going to have a series. I don't know all that it entails, but I'm excited about it and I'll be watching, because there's a whole lot that women need to know when even it comes to the corporate environment. How you relate with people in the corporate environment, certain looks that you give. I mean, we have verbal and non-verbal communications. So the way you would even shrug your shoulders at people and all of that, it goes a lot to speak about your image and the kind of person that you are. It goes extensively to speak about where you come from and how you have even been brought up. So we need to be very conscious about the image that we are portraying, because truly it is a brand. In human resource, in advising young people especially, I keep telling them that when you are coming for an interview with me, make sure that you take me as serious as I'm taking you. How do I mean by that? If I would take my time, make sure that I wake up, I dress up, and then I wait for you to come to an interview. And then you decide not to care about how you appear. The first impression that you would give a panel is your appearance. other than the CV, which they would have already seen. And so you should be very conscious of how you are appearing. For every organization that you apply for a job to, or you're going for an interview, or you're going to do a presentation for your product or your business, care about the values of the organization and try to tone along that line. For instance, if you are going to do a presentation to maybe a telecom company, or say to my bank, and we believe in turquoise, and you have a shade of turquoise and you're trying to really represent, you kind of connect with people.
Yes.
That is part of what I'm trying to drive home. Yes. In the past, I had been on projects where in doing presentations to some telcos in the system, we had actually branded our presentation with all their corporate colors. This was a proposal to get a sponsorship. But what did they tell them? That we were so ready to do business with them, because we were even ready to bring on board their colors and what they stand for and what they believe in and what they represent. So when you are doing you are approaching things in a corporate perspective, it's important that you are very conscious and you take into consideration some of these advices.
Thank you, Constance. We will go for a short break. When we come back, we are going to go into how women should carry themselves outside the corporate world and into the normal life. The image of a woman in our society and in our daily life. Don't go away, we'll be right back.
Hello, are you part of the 1000? Yes, you. Are you one? Hope Channel Ghana is inviting you, your friends and family to join the soul-winning trend in what is dubbed Hope Club 1000.
Hope Club 1000?
Yes, Hope Club 1000. It is a scheme designed to enable persons like you who want to support the growth of Hope Channel to donate a minimum of 100 cedis every month. If you cannot cross the ocean and the heathen land explore, if you cannot sing like angels and preach like Paul, if the master's call for evangelism is at the core of your heart, then this is an opportunity for you to contribute your resources for the advancement of the soul-winning agenda of the channel. Do you want to donate? Pay directly to the Hope Channel Momo account 0249193083 or Zenith Bank account number 6010190657 and be blessed.
I must be part of this train.
Hello, Peter.
How do you do?
How do you do?
It's been a while.
Yes, it has.
I hope you're well.
Oh, yes, we are. And what about you?
Doing well, by God's grace.
All right. Thank God.
You know, Chaplain, this reminds me. The last time at church, you made this presentation about Jesus Christ and God, and there's this question that's been bothering my mind.
Okay, let's hear it.
Who is Jesus Christ?
Okay, so as I said, Jesus is God, and then he is man.
Oh, Chaplain, this is rather confusing. I mean, how can God become man? I believe he's either God or man.
Okay, so Peter, we can have the long talk here, but why don't you join me on Hope Bible School?
Hope Bible School?
Yes, Hope Bible School. This is an interactive and in-depth study of the Bible, where Bible students study the Bible to know what it truly means.
Oh, okay. This is good news.
You can invite your friends to watch on TV or online.
You know, I'll tell my friends and family to tune in.
I'm nowhere close to
a My dear viewer, we are so glad that you are still here with us. We are discussing the image of a woman, and I've told you we are going to run a series on women grooming, because this March has been dedicated for women, we have celebrated International Women's Day. So how do we brand ourselves, rebrand ourselves for us to be able to look good and have a very positive image within our society? That is what we are looking, and it's a series that we are running, and so we believe that you will enjoy. With me on set is Mrs. Fitzsenyo. She holds an NGO called Rebranded Lady, and then she's also a teacher, professional teacher, of course. And then I have Mrs. Constance Boache Ejapon, an HR personnel. Today she has put the mental artifice somewhere. We are now talking about corporate relationship and the image of a woman in the corporate world. So she's there for us. And I'm your usual host, Mrs. Betty Adom. We have spoken a lot about how women should carry themselves. I just want us to zoom into this area. Let's compare the olden days and then the current days before we go on to what we decided to talk on before we break. Madam Faith, in the olden days, you could realize that women, mothers, really had control over what the children are supposed to wear, carry themselves. In our current situation, I want to find out, does it still exist? And are we doing the best? And are we helping the children to have a positive image in the society?
I think if you want to be truthful, the olden day women were doing better. As in the control they had over their children, the choice of dresses they wear. I think it wasn't even about the mother per se. Okay. The society was speaking volumes. So you realize that you are in an environment that you cannot go different from what everybody does. But this is a time we are in an era that even a child as little as they are feel they have a right to whatever they do. And then the current trends, as we have spoken about the trends. So at least the mother to do an extra work, you have to psych your child that not all the trends will work for you as an individual. So mothers, even we as teachers, it's becoming more difficult because you talk and you talk and you talk, and then the child goes to pick this attitude from friends. And what has become disheartening is that maybe it is not the will of your child, but she's being mocked for even wearing a longer thing. So I think mothers have we have tags ahead. And at Rebranded, I always tell my women that it's more of psyching people. Don't leave the child to say that, oh, this is what my child says she wants to wear. Even if I force her to wear something different, she will be mocked. We tend to kowtow to what the society expects from us. So try as much as you can as a mother to psych your child that even though we call it a trend, it's not everything that you are going to take out there and bring it to your life that will help you. It has become more difficult, but I think with God on our side, we can make a headway.
Good. Constance, with God on our side, we can make a headway. Let's see the corporate women. At first, women were also working and they were having children. What image should corporate women children have? Because you could see that they have the money to buy everything that a child wants for them. What should be the image that they should have for their children? Hello, Constance,
Betty,
are you there?
Hi. Yes, I am here. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, so your question is how corporate women should
because we are comparing the olden days, how women were controlling the outfits of their children, and then helping them to portray a very positive image in the society. And currently, what is happening? Have we really done a lot as corporate women compared to the olden days? What was it that they were doing and what are we doing now?
Yeah, I think that a lot of corporate women don't balance their lives, so it becomes difficult for them to help their children meet the standards that they have gotten an opportunity to get to. So in effect, I would say that corporate women should really learn to balance their lives so that they can make more time for their children and teach them the reasoning behind the need for modest dressing and modest appearance, especially for children of corporate women who are also looking to work in corporate, the corporate communities.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we should make more time. We are not. We really are not. Mothers wake up and they are in a hurry to go and get work done, and so they don't make enough time to teach the children, listen, you don't wear it this way. You need to make sure you appear this way. Even in going to school, I remember when we were in secondary school, we used to have some box pleats in our dresses, and you would make sure that you iron it so well. Are we even teaching our children how to iron all these things? And if we are not, then how are we expecting them to carry on with it and ensure that they are dressing neatly the way we appear when they also grow up? So I think we need to make a lot more time.
The last question I want to ask on this one is, the corporate women have the money to buy anything that they want for their children. They take them to beaches and parties and the rest. I want to find out, what image should they help the children to have, behaviors and attitude towards dressing? What advice will you give to them? But before you talk, let me announce our WhatsApp line so that our viewers can also join. You can send your text message through 05596 800 66 05596 800 66. Let us hear from you, from what we are discussing. What is your point over here? Are women, corporate women, our normal women, market women, students, are we having the positive image in the society? What is the image of a woman in society now? That is what we are discussing, and how we'll be able to rebrand our images. So you can also send your contribution through this WhatsApp line. Madam Constance, the question I asked you.
Okay, so I think then I would veer a little further from just the appearance to our conduct.
Okay.
Because that is also another way of portraying our images as corporate women. And if you are a woman in corporate, you should have aspirations to climb up that ladder in the corporate environment. And how do you climb up that ladder? And those are some of the things that you also need to teach your children who are looking to also build a career in corporate. Because there are certain things that as a woman, we live in a male-dominated environment when we talk, in talking about, especially in Africa and in Ghana, a lot of, we live in a male-dominated environment. However, there are a lot of women doing very well in the corporate environment, in Ghana. How have they achieved all that? Set role models, use yourself as a role model for your children, and also help them identify quality role models to also emulate. Give them inspirational videos and books to read, and also learn about how you can actually achieve it. When we go back into the Bible, we had a woman like Deborah, who, without her, the king was not willing to even go for war. So if you have women who have actually risen this far, who have made men build confidence in them, then what are you doing to think that you can't achieve much? So those are all some of the things that corporate women need to teach their children. And I keep saying one thing, that when we are teaching the girl children, we should also teach the boy child. And I think we can more at that conversation later, because train your girl child in a way that she would have high expectations of a man, and she wouldn't just settle for any and anything.
Thank you. Amen. So let's move to this area that we want to, because it's a series, we don't want to go deeper into now. We want to see the image of the woman in the society. Let's come closely to our homes. the image of a woman in the home. How should women carry themselves? Our dressing, our the hair, how to keep our hairs, and let's talk about women, our image in the home.
Yes, you know, there is one thing that a lot of women are missing. They think they can excel outside and then fail at home. Let me say it that way, which is very wrong. I always say that if somebody just knocks at your door, you should be able to open the person.
Yes.
You don't have to, if you begin spending a lot of minutes to open the door for your guests, then you know that there is something wrong somewhere. You have to fix your hair, you have to, and then there is
wait for me, don't come, wait for me. I will call you when to come.
There is one trend, and the cloth in the home, the cloth around your waist in the home, that one, it's not attractive at all. So in the home, you have to carry yourself like you are before a crowd.
Okay.
You always have to wear something covering you, wear an attractive look. You know, there are some mothers that cannot bond very well with their children because they don't attract their children in any way to surprise you. So when you look good at home, you blend well. Your self-confidence, you don't groom it outside. You don't grow it outside the home. When you are constantly looking good, even indoors and outdoors, you realize that, last I was telling somebody that in as much as you feed your body, you groom your body, feed your soul too. Okay. When you do good things to yourself, you see that your soul is happy within you. So always look good in the house. At any point in time, I was happy you talked about how we should even allocate our clothes in the house. You should have dresses that are for the house, those that are for...
So yes, that is my next point.
All right. So
there.
You always have to dress well at home.
Very good.
Don't become too familiar with your spouse. Always look attractive. And then again, your language.
Okay.
Your language. At all times, be conscious of your language in the house. Always keep the home neat. It's not easy. It's not easy. It's not easy, but if you don't want to stretch yourself too much, then to put things at their right places in the house. Don't scatter and gather and stretch yourself. So in the home, don't just say that there is nobody watching me. Your children are more than a crowd because your attitude talks volumes. So let's be conscious, very conscious, even when we are in our homes.
Yes, thank you. Be very conscious even when we are in the home. Constance, the image of a woman in the home. Before we come to, so get yourself prepared. From here, we are going to talk about allocation of dresses for certain occasions. Hello, Connie, are you there? Hello, Constance.
Yes, Betty, I am here.
Yes, the image of a woman in the home.
Hi, Betty, I'm here. Yes, the image of the woman in the home.
Yes.
Okay, I would like to touch on the emotional side of that image of a woman in the home. So we are an embodiment of the peace and the harmony in the house. And so we need to, in all of our appearance, give that whole atmosphere, both to our spouses and our children. I like what Faith said about when somebody is coming in, you don't need to now be gathering things. When you are living in your house, live in it like you are the first guest. You don't need a visitor to come and visit you before you ensure that your glasses are clean, before you ensure that your trays are in order, your napkins and everything is in order. If you have all these things naturally for yourself, then when you are getting a visitor, you don't have to now be pushing things and covering things and making sure things are in order. So your image goes just beyond yourself in the home to your surroundings. And then to the emotional side that I wanted to touch base on, your husband comes home. What image do you have sitting at home waiting for this, for the husband who is coming to you? You need to be welcoming. And when you are in the home, just as we learn in home and family life in the church, you should not, You don't go to bed with a cover and slits.
Constance, I've told you we are going to do series. And so your image in the home, I'll cut you right now for you not to talk about things that you need not to talk to. Yes, but before we go on, we are going to do something on our clothes, but there are some messages I want to read over here. We have Paulina D. Sapon. He's saying that well done, we are learning a lot from this program, very educative. And then I have my brother Emmanuel. I can't pronounce the first name, forgive me. He's saying that nice program, I'm listening live from Kampala, Uganda. Keep it up. Very good. We are so grateful for you watching us so over there. Always interact with us and we'll be happy. And we are ever ready to bring the best to our viewers. Now to my dear Constance and Faith, we are coming here. You know, we have so many places that we do go. We have church, we have home, wedding, parties, and the rest. And it's the same dress. We have our wardrobe. How do we do? Should we wear the same dress to our church? The dress that goes to church, should we go to the office? How should we rebrand us?
Yeah, yes. Betty. I think we shouldn't do that. The dress that goes to the office should not go to church. You know, I always say that you can use very little to look good.
Okay.
You don't need to fill your wardrobe to look good. What I teach women as rebranded leader is that if you have your wardrobe, you allocate it in such a way that you have the dresses that you send to church at one place. The ones you send to work should be at a different place. The ones that you wear at home should be at a different place. When you are traveling, the dresses you wear, it should also be at a place. Maybe if you are just going out to the market, the dresses should also have a place. I'm not saying that you should fill your wardrobe with a lot of dresses to have all those ones for the various places. But even if it is, if you are going to your designer to sew, you make sure that your styles are for different purposes.
Oh, so can't I sew one dress? Oh, this dress, at times I will take it to church, at times I will take it to work.
No, Auntie Betty. We are talking about the image of a woman. And I've always been saying, so I have something as rebranding I call the Creative Aid Agenda. Use it very little to look good.
Okay.
So we have to start learning. If it is only 5 dresses, make sure that this one I'm sewing is for church. Even if it's just one, and this church dress I'm using, I'm not going to send it to work. So you allocate your dresses in such a manner. So you will have like 5 allocations for all the various places I have mentioned, and you are good to go. So we should not encourage. You can't send your party dress to school. You know, you have to appear in a certain way to a party, and going to going to work too, you have to appear in a certain way. So we should learn that in as much as we are not promoting that you use a lot of you are always with a seamstress. No, but if you are going to your designer, some people forget they want to always look good to work, and every time they are thinking about work. So if you are not careful and it's Sunday, then you start looking for a dress for church. So you have to spread it evenly. If it is 10 dresses, 2 for the house, and then you are good to go. Don't go and be borrowing and be buying a lot of things. Just use little to look good.
I think you've reminded me of the COVID really taught us a great lesson. When we started staying home, that I got to realize I don't have house dress.
Yes.
Every dress either for church or for work. Because this has been our main line. So it's very good that you are saying we should have dress for the home, dress for very good. But you also touched on that. It shouldn't be plenty. Is that right? But how can I apportion it by not making it plenty? Because definitely it will be plenty because I have to get home, I have to get...
No, in as much as we want to look good, we are talking about image. You know, we have to invest and save for the future of our children, you understand? So the dresses, I always say that, you know, you can be repeating the same dress. If you have only, you can't be repeating it, and it depends on how you take care of the clothes. Somebody can be changing dresses to work all the time, but it's a surprise that the few you have, the way you carry yourself, the way you even match it, the way you iron it, people will tend to look at you more than the person who changes every day to work. Okay, so we should learn how to use little to look good. You don't have to fill your whole wardrobe to look good. You have to the little. It's just that you spread it across.
Okay, Constance, corporate women.
Yes, ma'am.
Your dress to work, can it go to church? Should it go to parties? Or what is it like?
Okay, so I would like to say that sometimes a woman can go and stand in front of their dressing wardrobe and then say, I don't even have a dress to wear to this party.
Don't let people be.
That is overflowing. And you wonder, and I mean, women, when we say that, we should just turn around and look at the faces of our husbands, because they look at us and they wonder what is going on with us. So I would like to advise that if you have dresses that you haven't worn for 3 to 5 years, maybe you will never wear those dresses. Give them out.
Okay.
Sometimes when you have very little, you are most likely to manage it very well. So if you haven't worn them for all that long, you might probably never wear them. If you think the style has changed, please take it to your seamstress. Let her twist it around a little to suit you in a way that you like, instead of going to make a completely new one. Then also, directly to your question about the corporate world, we don't wear glitters and things that's like a shiner bobo kind of dresses to the corporate environment. We like to tone our dresses to suit the professions in which we are. If you are a doctor and you are always seen in some flamboyant colors, you may end up confusing your patients. And people would be wondering, and whenever you are dressing for a corporate institution, think about your audience. I would keep on saying that. Some colors doesn't match. Yes, we do have what we call color blocking, where you can wear different hot colors and say you are blocking the colors. But if you are not color blocking, and if you want to color block properly, if you do not know how to, or you are not sure of how to color block, stick to your simple colors and make sure that at least you tone your shades to match.
Okay.
I am in a green dress and a black jacket, and it matches. Imagine me wearing this navy green dress with black prints in it, and then wearing, let's say, some off-color jacket over it. It might make you wonder what is going on with me. You may even ask me, Constance, are you okay? So we need to be conscious of all that.
Okay. I have some messages on Facebook, and I want to read it before we continue. He's saying that Jahan, very nice speech. I like your topic. The woman should follow it. The marriage life will be successful. The women should follow it. The marriage life will be successful. He's saying that nice speech. Okay. And another one is saying, I'm watching you from Pakistan. Wow, very good. And then I have my brother. He's saying that my wife is running small here in Kampala. 2 weeks ago, she opened another business. So I come to understand we may need assistance. Okay. So we have a lot of messages over here, but we'll continue. We have some few minutes left. What we are still talking about is the portioning of our dresses and our image as women in the society. Let's wrap up by saying something within the society, the community that we live in. How should we carry us? What image should we have? As we use this one to wrap up, then you add your final words to your viewers.
Okay, sometimes people think that they have already created or portrayed a certain image about themselves that is difficult to change. That is why we talk about rebranding.
Okay.
That rebranded is not for the person that feels, the woman that feels already perfect. We are looking at, we say that yes, nobody is perfect. Everybody has something we still have to work on. So it is not too late to change that thing that you think you have already, that is not working on well with you. And so in the society,
Good.
we should be conscious. You see, if you are not conscious about the things you do, you make a lot of mistakes.
Yes.
From today, we have talked about how to carry ourselves, a positive image, carrying a positive image as a woman. So just tell yourself that from today, I'm going to carry that positive image. If somebody brings a quarrel to my doorstep in that compound house, I'm not going to talk, because I want people to look at me in a better light. And one most important thing that destroys the image of a woman is back. The little the conversations that don't go well. One thing that can mar your integrity is to go talking about somebody and all those stuffs. It doesn't speak well of us as women. At one point in time at a TV station, they asked me whether it is true that women are our own enemies, and I said no, I don't believe in that generalization. So we have to carry a positive image wherever we find ourselves as women.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Constance, Mrs. Constance Boache Japan. Please, your last words to your viewers for me.
Okay. So to my viewers, I would like to say that every day we learn, and we should learn positive things from positive people. Usually, nobody sees above their eyes. Okay. Unless you are looking inside the mirror. So when somebody sees something about you, the image that you are portraying in their eyes, and you are fortunate to get some feedback from them, it is advisable that you take it in good faith, even if it doesn't sound good in your ears. Sit down, reflect about it, and make sure that you address it to portray a positive image of yourself to your audience. Thank you.
Thank you so much. My lovely viewer, this is where we will draw the curtains. We are so grateful that you stay with us. Today we have discussed the image of a woman, and we have spoken a lot. The little that I want to just touch on is from what they said is that we need to carry a positive image in our dressing, the way we talk, and the way we also bring our children in their dressing. And whatever we do today has an effect in the future. On the set with me were Mrs. Faith Senyo, who is a CEO for Rebranded Ladies, an NGO that they brand ladies, and then Mrs. Constance Boache Japan, a human resource practitioner. She was with us, and they have given us a lot. My name is Mrs. Betty Adam. Till next week, we'll meet you again. We pray that God will protect us and keep us safe, and let His banner be over us, so we'll be saved from this COVID-19. Remember to wear your nose mask, wash your hands, and social distance. And if you have not taken the vaccine, try as much as possible, take the fear away, and go and take your vaccine. Till next week, I say God bless you.